Hey there everybody, welcome to the channel. I'm your host, Puborama, and in today's video, I will be breaking into 3 vehicles that you are going to want to pick up this week in Grand Theft Auto Online with the ongoing deals and discounts. The first vehicle we're going to break into is the Hydra, which as we can see is located a little bit down the road. The reason I'm not in the Hydra just yet is because I want to show a little trick. If you make your way over to Service Vehicles and you own the Acid Lab, you can request your Acid Lab delivery bike. And this is actually really nice because it counts as a personal vehicle, but not the same as an aircraft. Normally, if you try to call in a personal car while having an aircraft out, it will despawn your aircraft, which is really annoying. However, if you own a Acid Lab, you can just call out your motorcycle and then drive it right over to your aircraft. So just a little bit of advice that might help you out. Now, the Hydra is an amazing aircraft, and this week it is a pretty cheap price tag. Normally, the Hydra is $3 million if you have the trade price, $4 million if you don't. But this week, it is 30% off. So, you can get the Hydra for a pretty inexpensive $2.1 million. The F-160 Raiju with the trade price is $6.5 million, meaning that the Hydra is 1/3 of the price of the F-160 Raiju. In other words, yeah, it's quite a bit cheaper. What does this have going for it? Well, first of all, it is the 3rd fastest jet in the game, going over 210 miles per hour, which is obviously incredibly fast. Not only is this the 3rd fastest jet in the game, just like the Raiju, it features an explosive machine gun, which, as we can see, absolutely demolishes the road below you. I'd actually say the explosive machine gun is better on this jet than the Raiju's. It shoots a little bit faster, and the explosions deal just a teeny bit more damage, which is actually really nice. And just like the Raiju as well, it has a hover mode, which means that you can, well, hover in place, which is obviously amazing. You have homing missiles that you can shoot out of the Hydra whenever you need, and because of that, it makes the Hydra one of the most useful tools in the game. $2 million is honestly an incredibly inexpensive price tag. On my Broke to Billions account, I just spent $8 million purchasing an agency and then upgrading the Gradiatelli GTO Stinger TT to the fullest of HSW and my Amani Tech capabilities. And the Hydra is literally $2 million versus the $8 million I spent. Why buy an Oppressor Mark II right now when you can get a Hydra? So this is definitely a purchase I would recommend any player that doesn't have already to get their hands on. It is a great deal, and yeah, definitely consider picking it up. Next up, we have the Gro Vision, which is honestly one of my favorite looking supercars in the game. Not every car is based off of performance, and the good news is that this vehicle does have good performance. It's around the top 20 best supercars when it comes to lap time and top speed, but it's nothing insane in either value. What I really like about this vehicle is that it handles well, and it looks amazing. I mean, look at this car. It's so sleek. It's got a really cool design going for it. It has fantastic liveries, and it's one of the few cars where Rockstar actually has the front glass tinted as well, making it just incredible, especially if you do kind of a paint like I have where it's all black. I think the Vision is one of the nicest looking supercars in the game. It's got great customization. It's definitely a solid pickup, especially because it's not very expensive. You're sitting base at a price tag of $2.2 million. So if you make your way over to Legendary Motorsport and you sort by 2-door, you're going to see the Vision for 30% off this week, which is a pretty good deal if you ask me. And you're able to pick it up for 1.5. That's fairly inexpensive for a supercar, especially one with a lot of customization, great handling, and overall really good value. So if you want a good supercar to pick up this week, I would definitely recommend to consider the Gro Vision. It's a really solid choice. That brings us to the final deal that we should be talking about this week, the Autoshop, which is 30% off for all upgrades and locations. Hopping over to Maze Bank for closures, we can take a look at any Autoshop. Normally this is 1.7 million. This week you can save 500,000 and get it for 1.2 million. As I said, all the upgrades are 30% off as well. So if you don't own an Autoshop, I would highly recommend to get one because obviously it is a fantastic business. First of all, as I've mentioned in the past, if you're under a level 100, you will be able to upgrade your vehicles fully. And even if you aren't level 100 and you're above, if you don't have all the paint jobs unlocked, the Autoshop automatically does that for you. Plus, you get a 5% discount on every vehicle you upgrade. So the Autoshop alone is just a great customization area, and it honestly is worth the buy just for that. But then we also have the Autoshop contracts. This week, the Autoshop contracts are paying double money as well. So we can see the Union Depository is paying $600,000 from what would normally be $300,000. So completing just 2 Union Depositories this week will pay back the money that it costs to buy an Autoshop. Plus, one of the other cool facts about the Autoshop people might not even know is that you can purchase removed vehicles. For example, the Visser Neo, which is right here, is actually removed from GTA Online. But you can purchase it inside of your Autoshop for $1.9 million. And once you get rid of this car, there will be another car that comes out. So there's actually a lot of vehicles that Rockstar has removed that you can purchase that arrive into your Autoshop. It's actually pretty nice. And it's one of the nicest looking properties in the game. I love the customization and the overall, aesthetic it has. I kind of have like a classic design in mind here. And yeah, I mean, the Autoshop really is just one of the best properties. So I would recommend for anybody that doesn't own the Autoshop to pick it up. And I would also recommend for anybody that doesn't own a Hydra to pick it up. Those are 2 very important purchases to get this week. When it comes to getting your hands on the Vision, it's not mandatory, obviously. It is just a supercar after all. But it is a really, really nice supercar. It's fast, it's fun to drive, and it has great customization. And that's really all I care about. At the end of the day, if I'm trying to go somewhere as fast as possible, I'm either going to pull out a Sparrow or an Oppressor Mark II and call it a day. So you don't really need to rely on a supercar to get from point A to point B. You should buy a car because you like the look of it and because you have some excess money that you don't mind spending. And as I always say, doing the Cayo Perico heist is going to pay you around $1.3 million pretty easily as well. So just get your hands on a Vision if you want it. Don't if you don't want it. But the Autoshop, that is kind of a no-brainer, if you ask me. Just buy it. It's going to save you a lot of money over time. Plus, it also helps increase your LS Car Meet reputation, which can give you discounts on vehicles once you go past level 100, which is actually really sweet. Unlocks liveries for you. It's just a great business in general. One of the best, actually. And when Rockstar occasionally does triple money on it, wow, can you make a lot of money. Just as a quick refresher for anybody that hasn't paid attention to the weekly update news, this week you're going to be able to make double money with the apartment heists. So that means the original Pacific Standard, Prison Break, Humane Labs raid, and Fleeka Job are all going to be giving you double money, which is actually really good payouts, especially if you haven't done them yet. And then you can also arrive to double money on Autoshop contracts, as I mentioned before, which is also really, really good payout. And if you complete the Cluck and Bell Farm raid this week, you're going to make an additional $250,000 within 72 hours of completion. So you're going to have a lot of different ways to make money this week, and honestly, that's great, especially if you want to pick up any of these vehicles that I just listed. So hopefully you enjoyed today's video. If you obviously did and you want to see more content like this, please consider smashing that subscribe button down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.